Hi and welcome to the channel. In this particular video, I will show you exactly how you can edit your videos just using your phone. You don't need a laptop, you don't need another computer. If you've shot your video like we talked about in the previous video, you shot it on mobile, you can actually edit it on mobile. The app that you will need to use is called KineMaster or KineMaster. I'll just place it here so that you can be able to download it. Give you a few seconds. Now that you've downloaded it, this is what you need to do. You will go onto your app, and once you have logged into your app, you can actually be able to see the step-by-step process of how you can edit using your phone. Let's jump onto the phone and you can see how I'm editing it myself. So the thing that you need to do once you have downloaded your KineMaster is, and your screen will be blank on the right, unlike mine right now. So what will happen is you will need to click on this video sign. When you click on it, it will tell you to specify the aspect ratio of your project. For our project on YouTube, it will be 16:9 because people usually just watch the video on landscape mode. So 16:9 means 16 on the width and 9 by the height. So on Instagram story, it will be 9 on the width and 16 by the height. If it's on the feed, it will be 1:1, which is a square, which you can actually be able to see. So for this, we'll actually select 16:9. Once we do this, it will bring us to this screen. This screen actually helps us to do everything. So on the left, you will see the toggle icon, which is a settings icon, where you can actually be able to see all the things to do with the project. This way, you can be able to actually edit everything that you want. There is a media button here. There is an audio button, voice, and a layer button, which I will help you as we go through, and you'll be able to see everything that we are doing. So the first step, the thing that you need to do with this is to actually click on the media icon. So when you click on the media icon, you can go to camera, and when you go to camera, you'll actually just scroll to the first video that you want to appear on the video, and then you click on it. Once you've clicked on it, just click on the sign that's there, and then you can scroll to the very first part of that video. So the red line that you see right now is the cursor button. That's where we are on the playhead. So what you will do is, what you want to actually see is played back, because this is a small video. It's about 16 seconds, and we'll be able to use it to actually show you what needs to be done. So the first thing that you do is just play, just to hear what you want to actually run, then stop it where you need to stop it, and then you'll actually just click on the clip itself. When you click on it, it turns yellow, and then when you're there, you'll actually see a cut button. You will see another button that's there, and the volume button, clip, graphics, speed, reverse, rotation, mirroring, color filter. All this are things that you can do with the video. So the first thing that we need to actually know how to do is to cut out the clips that we do not want. So the thing that you need to do is just click on that cut button, and then it has 4 instances that you can be able to make use of, and I'll actually show you how to make use of them. So the first one says trim to left of playhead, and you can actually see the cut button is to the side of the left of the playhead. So trim to left means that you don't want whatever is to the left of the cursor. So once I press it, it actually cuts out what was on the left. We'll actually undo that and then go a little ahead in the video, and when we are there, we can actually say trim to the right of playhead. So that cuts what is on the right of that particular playhead. The next thing that you can actually do, let's undo that just to undo what we've done. What we can do is, you want to cut this clip into 2. Maybe you did a longer clip than you should have, and you want to keep there is some information on the right and on the left that you would like to keep, but there's something in the middle that you don't want. So you can come here and say split at playhead. That divides the clip that you had selected in yellow into two. So the left part is no longer selected and you have the right part. Then now you can just move a little on the right, and then here you can still do trim to left and trim to right. So here we can say trim to left. So once you play the video, it will actually not have that middle part that you had selected out. So I'll undo that twice so that we have our main clip. So anytime that you want to do something, you press this tick at the top right corner, which you'll actually be able to see there. So the next thing that you can be able to do when you have your clip is to actually press on the layer button, and it brings in things that you can be able to put on top of the clip that you have. So you can be able to add media, you can be able to add effects, you can be able to put an overlay, you can be able to put text and even write on your screen. So for this one, we'll actually start with text. So I'll press on text, and then we can call these are called sausage. Let's just call them sausages, even if they're a bit longer than sausages. Then the word itself will actually appear on the screen. This is what you need to do. There are two buttons there. One, which is a diagonal arrow that has points on both sides, and the other is a rotation arrow. So I'll click on the lower arrow, and that will be able to increase its size. Then the rotation, of course, will change the rotation the way we want. So once we have placed it there, if you click on the word itself, you can be able to move it around the screen up to the place where you want it to be. So for us, we'll actually place it there. Then if you want to change what is on the screen, if you want to change the words that are on the screen, there is a keyboard button which you actually press, and you can be able to change this to whatever it is you want to call. So for this one, we'll actually write that these are choma, they're not Chinese, they're choma sausages, and we can actually place that there at that particular point. So you've actually changed the text that you had on screen. So when you look at the timeline, you will see that the timeline is actually selected and in yellow. That's something that you need to know with this app, that anything that is selected will turn yellow. If you have not selected it, then it will not be that color. So the thing that you need to look out for is, now look at the font. Can you change the font? You'll click on what is written AA there, and once you've clicked on it, you can be able to change the font into all these fonts, any of these fonts that you want to change. Go to Latin, you can find a few more fonts there. I like this one called Railway, and once you click on it, it comes at the very top. Then you click on the tick at the top right, and your text changes to that particular font. So let's just make this a little smaller so that it doesn't overpower. What you need to know is, whatever you're editing here, think of it as how will it look like when it's on a TV. So that tells you how big or how small it is. Then the next thing that you need to look at is animation. Animation tells you how that text will appear on the screen. If I press on, right now it's at none. If I press on fade, that's what will happen. Once the text is supposed to appear, it will fade in. That is okay. Then there is pop, there is slide right, there is slide left, there is slide up, and others. So I'll just choose fade, go back, and then you can say out animation, how it will go out. So we said fade to come in, we can say fade to go out. So it will show you what will happen. So press back again, and then what I like to do, especially for this text, is to place a background color, especially because this is white. It will help it to actually stand a bit more. So I can enable that, so you will see that there is a small background that has been placed on the text, which helps it to pop a little more. What you can even do for this is to place full width background. So there will be a full line from left to right, which will actually help to help the text to actually pop out more. So you can place a tick on that. So when you play the clip, you'll actually be able to see the text has actually shown up, and then it fades out like we had said it should. The next thing that we can do is a different layer where we can add in a different video on top of the video that is the main one. So this usually helps, especially if we have things that are you're doing a news piece or you're doing some b-roll. This is something that you can actually do. So let's pick that. This is an image. So with this particular image, now that we've clicked on it and it's come to our timeline, the way it is, there are options. There is the cut button, which we talked about before, which was to trim to the left and to the right. And there is the second button, which is to show how big we want the clip to be on top of the main one. So here, if you want to place in b-roll, just because this is an image, is just as an example, so you can actually press this white rectangle and it will fill the whole place. So this is what will happen. So once you click on that tick, this is what will happen. If we are here, this is our main clip, and we play it, then what happens is the b-roll actually shows up on the screen at that particular time, and then once it's done, it goes off. Then the things that you can even do, depending on what you want, similar to what we did with text, is animation in, and we can say animation out, fade, and we put that as well. So this acts as transition that you can really use anytime you're shooting your video. So the next thing that we can even do is put in audio. This is audio that you pick out, like music that you've already done or recordings that you've already done. If you're doing voiceovers, you can be able to actually add them in here. And I'll go just to albums and say downloads, just put in something that would be able to help us here. Just put in audio. So once you put in the audio, you can actually just play it back. You can see it down here. It's the blue part on the clip. So if you want to see this a bit better, you can actually pinch using your hands out like this. So you pinch out to zoom in. So once I've pinched out to zoom in, then it shows me exactly how long that clip is. If I want to change anything on the clip that we've added, on the audio that we've added, I click on it, it turns the color yellow. Then I can actually change the sound levels just to make it a bit louder. You can be able to loop it. You can be able to trim or split it. There are different things that you can be able to do. So once it gets there, you play it will actually play whatever you've actually added onto the video. Then once you've done that, if you would like to do a live recording of the video that you actually put in, let's just zoom out on this. If you actually want to put in a voice right as you're editing, then you can press the voice button. This is to record voice live. So I will then you press the stop button. Once you've done that, the clip actually shows up. So what you will need to do is play, and then this is a video showing how to prepare food in your kitchen, and we are actually making, that's how it's done. So this actually shows you all the things that you will need to do in order to edit your video. Then the next thing after that is to export it so that you can upload it on YouTube. Click on that button at the top right, then it will appear as the top left. So the thing that you need to do after that is actually export this particular video. So the thing that you will do is just press onto the title and then call it whatever you want to call it. That is its name. And then you will click on the share button right here. And once you press on it, the resolution is on the left and the frame rate is on the right. Just leave the frame rate as it is. Then here you can actually place whatever bitrate you want. It determines how big the
size of that video will be. So you can actually make it a 2K footage or a 4K footage, depends on how big your phone is and how much space you have. So right here you can just press export and it will export. Once it is complete, then the thing that you need to do is actually share it, and it will come and you will share it to YouTube and you have your video out.